Friends, are you ready? This is round 2. So I recently made a video about Conrad Syndrome, locked-in syndrome. Is River in there? That's a question that's on people's minds all the time. And a nice lady named Trisha sent us a study that took place in 2023 that proved that anoxic brain-injured children are in there. Most of the children in the study were actually in there. They are conscious. They just can't express as much as you and me can express, but they are here with us. And so that was a wonderful study, and a lot of people commented from all over the world. It was crazy, the number of messages we received, and so helpful. First of all, I have to say this. You guys are amazing. Thank you for, all the love, and thank you for, your messages in regards to the study. Some people who were in the study, like the parents of the kids who were in the study, messaged us as well. And that was incredible, guys. I just to know that we are in contact with you guys is amazing. It's kind of like finding our very, very close tribe, of people who can understand us, and so many of you people from around the world who knew this about River, and it was a nice confirmation for you guys as well that River is here with us. All the messages you sent us are, lots of love for you. That was really amazing. So I took a lot of notes, guys, and I also found some other studies that can be helpful with explaining some of this. And let's go. So first thing I wanted to highlight is a few comments from people in our threads. So Marian Boyd said, "The study only proves what you've known, James. It's so terrific to see you so happy. Big happy hugs to you and the family." Yeah, it's true, Marianne. It kind of confirmed what we knew. A lot of us, knew inside. And Charisse Price said, "This is a beautiful affirmation of exactly what your family is experiencing. Thank you for sharing. Continued prayers." Thank you so much, Charisse. And Donna Nickerson is saying, "James, the study reference just confirms through medical science what you've known in your heart and soul all along." Yeah, it's nice because it helps explain it, to some people who are like, "Hey, what's up with James and River? Why does James think that, he would know or something?" And I understand that because people are not with us all the time. They can't see everything I see, and it's been quite an experience for me and River, and I get that all the subtleties that I can feel maybe are hard to feel sometimes through a video, so I'm not judging, And what's really amazing is that some people who were non-believers at first, who were maybe very judgmental, as they told me, are coming around, and becoming friends, and that's the best. So thank you, Donna. Denise Benton said, "You are an amazing dad, and River is in there." Thank you so much. And okay, so what about the science? I want to come back to that just for the people who are new to this or who want to dig more into the subject. It's an interesting subject in general, consciousness, for people who have experienced brain injuries of all sorts. So the study, like the first study that we were talking about drowning survivors, exactly the same injury as River. And that's what was referenced in my previous video with what Trisha sent us, the study that Trisha sent us. So that's the story, the study, sorry, with Dr. Peter Fox at UT Health San Antonio, Pediatric Neurology in November 2023. And it was with children who survived drowning, just like River, and about 60% of them had what was called, or termed locked in or Conrad. There's different words for it. It doesn't mean it's a secondary disease or anything. It just means it's a way to explain that the children would not have much movement or and not much outward expression, but they are here with us. And what it says is that they're awake and aware with the thinking and sensing parts of the brain preserved. So they named the pattern Conrad Syndrome after Conrad Tullis, who had an anoxic brain injury like River. So that's the study, and I will post. Yes, my beautiful boy. Yes. And I will post some links for you guys again, for those of you who are interested in digging. But there's more studies, guys. It's not just one. So study number 2 that I want to point out is the study about covert consciousness. And that's a huge study that took place in 2024 with Dr. Yelena Bodian and Dr. Nicholas Schiff, New England Journal of Medicine, August 2024. So it was with unresponsive patients in 6 different medical centers. About 1 in 4 were actually aware on their brain scans. So this is not just anoxic brain injuries. I know that I mentioned a study that, 60% were actually, were not able to express, but they were actually in there and it was provable. But in this other study, it's a lot of different brain injuries. And 1 in 4 were actually aware on brain scans, and there was cognitive motor dissociation, and they included cardiac arrest in that study because it's also oxygen loss, the same mechanism as drowning. So I'll post a link to that study as well, which is interesting and kind of like a broader aspect than the 2023 study where it was just anoxic brain injuries like River, just maybe to give hope to people who've had other types of brain injuries. That's the reason I'm including it here. And study number 3, where all of this began in 2006, with Dr. Adrienne Owen, a woman diagnosed vegetative was asked to imagine playing tennis. The exact part of her brain lit up on command as she was imagining it because she was not able to move or do anything. But with the scan, it just proved that awareness, can be fully there with 0 movement, even no movement of the eyelids, right? So that's just to bring it back to, the broader question, if there's no movement at all, can someone be in there? And yes, and that study proves it as well. And I'll post the link in the description below. So what was amazing of you guys' response in the video is also there's living proof among us. And I want to tackle some of these comments. So I want to start with Sarah Sparing. Her niece, an anoxic brain injury survivor, age 3, says, I can confirm this. My niece suffered an anoxic brain injury. She showed 0 awareness, unable to move, smile, laugh, cry, anything. She was blank and seemed completely switched off. She recovered well after a lot of intense therapy. She remembers everything. She can describe what happened and how she felt and how sad and scared she was. She was 3 years old. And Sarah tells me, never stop treating River like he is fully aware just because he cannot respond. Chances are he knows exactly what is going on. It's rare that we get a chance to connect with people who truly understand us. And yeah, thank you for sharing that beautiful comment with us. What do you think, River? Yeah, my love, we always knew. Yeah, we always knew, but it's nice to, meet new friends who completely understand. Christina Garcia, a 3-month medically induced coma patient, said, I remember having dreams within my coma, but I was unable to share. I knew what I wanted to say to my loved ones, but I wasn't able to because I no longer knew how. She says, I believe you. I know that your sweet baby is frustrated. All he wants to do is tell you that he loves you and that he is okay. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Christina. Yeah, it's incredible. Consciousness versus our bodies. It's totally fascinating for me. And that, I think, to your comment that, maybe there was some frustration on your part with, because you want to express things. And that's why, I believe it when people tell me, just treat River as if he is fully, aware, because the reality of it, yes, science tells us yes, but we don't know. And I want to assume the best. And with all the signs that, River gives me, that's why I try to let him be heard as much as I can, tell him when I have an intuition, oh, is that what you wanted, River, and stuff. I always talk to River like that because I want him to feel understood, and also let him know that I feel understood by him, because I do feel understood. I have long conversations with River, because I feel we have that soul connection. Yes, there's communication that maybe some of you guys don't see, that I experience on a day-to-day basis with River, but there's also a lot that's at the soul level, when we have our little moments, when River's laying down with his head on my chest, when we have our little, oh, you want to raise your arms? Okay. Oh, you want to stretch? Oh, yeah, that was a big stretch. Oh my God. Squeezing my leg too. You want to stand up soon? But yeah, River tells me what he wants, and we have these moments, these beautiful moments that mean everything to me, where River's laying with his head on my chest, like in our afternoon relaxation sometimes, and that soul-to-soul communication, and River will purr and make very, very light sounds, and it's just our little moment, and it's very hard to express, all of what that means to me, but it's incredible, and we knew it, we knew it, we understand each other. My big boy. Oh, and I want to highlight what a nurse said. Her name is Lisa Lane, and she says, just because River is here is not like yours and mine, he is present just the same. He deserves every smile, hug, and all the love. As a nurse, I've seen things people would not believe. Every day something else comes along to help him. Thank you for never giving up, Dad. Thank you so much, Lisa. Coming from a nurse, we appreciate it a lot. And Pauline Hawkins, knows locked-in syndrome, and she says, James, I've heard of locked-in syndrome and have watched documentaries on the subject. It's real. One man I watch can communicate now with just moving his eyes around a communication board. Take heart, James. River knows and feels more than we think he does. Thank you so much, Pauline. And Rose de la Rosa cared for her anoxic, brain-injured nephew for years. She said, I had guardianship of my nephew. He suffered from anoxic brain injury. I cared for him. We love and know our loved ones, and we'll do all in our power to care for them. We know their new language and know how to connect with our loved ones. There's something that can't be taught. They don't see it and they refuse to see it. We see and celebrate the smallest improvement. That's so true. Thank you so much, Rose. Yeah, it's true. And I love what you said about celebrate the smallest improvement. I always like to say something of that nature, that we try to celebrate everything, even if it's like, oh, River couldn't poop like for 3 days and he can now, and like, okay, let's celebrate that. Or I'll even celebrate when River gets, frustrated and he expresses it. I'm like, yeah, express yourself. Because sometimes he'll try to do something and he just didn't do it the way he wanted. Okay, what's the last time he did that? We were practicing the push-ups like from the ground, and that's, it's a demanding exercise that River loves to do, but it can be frustrating at times if he's trying to do it and he didn't do it to his liking, because sometimes it takes time. Yet we'll lay River on his tummy and we practice it, and I help him out with some stimulation at first. I might be rubbing River's sides like this, and then he pushes, and then I stop the stimulation and he does it. And after maybe 10 times, River gets really good at it, and he'll push a lot from the ground up, but sometimes you do get frustrated, sweetie, and that's okay. I get frustrated too when I can't do something on the computer, or the computer won't respond or anything. It's okay. And in those moments I praise River, and people would ask me, why would you praise him if he burst out in anger or frustration? Well, it's because there was a point in time where River had no expression after the injury. His eyes were closed, he was not making sounds, and our communication was just like breathing patterns. The communication we had in those times were like I would make a breathing pattern and River would repeat it, and I'd repeat it. That was the only thing, but now he has so much more expression, and I want to celebrate it, whether it's frustration. And I thought about it. I think with any kid, it's something that, expression in general should be celebrated. Yeah, I want you to feel like you can express anything, my love, and that you are understood. And then when that happens, and you're doing push-ups, that's okay. That's okay. You express it, and then we try again, or we take a longer rest and try again, and we can do it. I know, my love. I know. You're doing, hard things, and you're succeeding. I'm very proud of you. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much, Rose. Oh, and friends, we have more for you, because a parent from one of those studies wrote to us. So Sabine Borzel Somerville, a mother from the actual 2023 study, said, my son was part of that study as well. They said that the children's awareness of themselves and others was largely intact. The ability to think, to comprehend is there. That's why we treat them like the human beings they are, with the love and respect every person deserves. I love that. And thank you so much, Sabine, for writing to us. And I'd love to communicate with you and the family if you want to, and feel free to write to us at info@heartswithriver.com. But isn't it amazing, guys, that I didn't expect that, because now people from all over the world follow River's story, and we get the benefit of being able to have that kind of confirmation, which is really amazing for our family. And there's another lady, Adrian Fox. Her son drowned, recovered, and told her. She said, "My son, also named James, drowned at 7 and was minimally conscious and deemed vegetative for many weeks. Once he could speak again, he told me that he was completely aware and always knew when I was there talking. When oxygen is cut off, the parts of the brain affected first are the motor, because the brain preserves its sense of self, so awareness is the last thing to go, not the first. It's like giving up the arms and legs to save the heart and soul of the body." Oh my God, that's so interesting. Thank you so much, Adrian, for sharing that with us. And yeah, it would make sense. It's amazing also that some of the motor function can actually be recovered with the intensive therapies that some of you guys were talking about, like Dr. Crawford's therapy, the therapy in Mexico as well, and now the benefits of laser therapy as well, added to that, to movement, to stimulate the mitochondria as the brain is recovering. And what's incredible is that so many brain doctors talk about it, like science from 25 years ago thought that the brain could not create new pathways, and it's totally false. We now know that the brain can create new pathways. And what those brain doctors tell me is that, James, like, River's so young, he's creating even more new pathways. His brain is also growing, and that's another benefit of being young. And so that's why we look forward to some of these therapies, to take River to these more extensive therapies. So yeah, another goal of ours, my love. And so another person commented, April Wiley Busby said, "On your hot cold sensory video, there's no doubt he was aware when Dad placed his hand in the cold water. His whole body reacted from his head to his toes. He responded. I kept watching it over and over. You are giving him a beautiful childhood, just like all children deserve." Well, thank you so much, April. Yeah, and that was part of the Doman International therapy, where they want River to experience different textures. It could be like holding a pearl necklace in his hand and just telling River, hey River, you're holding like a hard pearl necklace, and then touching his hand with a feather, or in the case that you mentioned, like hot versus cold. And yeah, River would react a lot to the cold. And it's funny, we practice that sometimes when we're at restaurants, and they always bring you, water with ice cold water, and we play like that, because the people at Doman International told me, James, like, you should try to do it as much as you can to just, trigger that response in River's brain, and just tell the nerves, hey, I'm here, use me, River. Use your nerves and your hand and feet, etc. And yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to touch on, guys, in this video. Just following up on your incredible response to the last video, and thank you so much for taking the time. I know that many of you have busy lives, as we do, and you took time to write me paragraphs, and especially the people, whose children, are brain injured, and what you noticed in your own children. I think it's amazing, and And it's helpful to, many of us who knew that River was in there and knew that these beautiful children out there are in there as well. And maybe helpful for some people who at first, reacted strongly and maybe with some tough messages to us or tough comments or hateful comments, but who are coming around and saying that, oh, thank you, it helped me understand, and sorry I was a bit brash at first, and but these people coming around and becoming part of the tribe mean the world to us, because that's what we want, and with this page we want to build a big tribe of people who love on each other and love on these kids who I think deserve the world. I feel they have so much to teach us. I always tell River, thank you for taking care of your family, thank you for loving on me, on Mom, on your sister, etc., because we feel that, and I think River plays a huge part in our lives, inspiring my music, inspiring my life, inspiring me to research more about life and consciousness, and also to try and be a better version of myself. And yeah, you're a little teacher. Yeah, I know a lot of people say that to me, that River teaches them so much, and I appreciate that, because I feel that from my little man every single day, and I'm so grateful, because I know you went through a lot, sweetie, and you're still full of excitement and still full of love, and you show it in so many ways. And on that note, thank you, friends, for being in our lives, and thank you for taking the time and supporting River in so many ways. And we will see you in the next one. All right, bye, friends.